Step 1, settle until you're tired. Succeeding at dating is like following the intuitive eating diet, where you eat whichever foods you're compelled to eat and you achieve a healthier outcome. The idea is that a person may initially intuitively choose to eat juicy cheeseburgers and fresh baked pizzas, but after a while, there is a stark turning point where the person develops a genuine craving for healthy foods after consuming their share of junk food. Not settling in dating is like choosing wood grilled shrimp for lunch instead of another order of crispy buffalo wings with sea salt truffle fries, because you know what's comforting and easy now doesn't serve you long term. This is why settling until you're tired is the very first step in building a long-term relationship in your life. You have to experience enough situationships, casual dating experiences, and toxic partnerships to wholeheartedly decide that you are done with these low-value connections and they are not in-game oriented, and you are ready to make a drastic shift. I'm not saying to actively seek out partnerships with people you don't want to end up with, but just to be aware of when you reach the rock bottom point where you literally have a guttural response to the mere idea of settling. This point is different for everyone, and there are people of all ages who still haven't reached it yet. We all know someone who is constantly experiencing the same negative relationship experiences, just with new partners, and no shame if you're that person, but it's because they haven't experienced enough of these bad situations to deeply and truly be ready to upgrade with every fiber of their being. There are so many women out there who are stuck in situationships, casual partnerships when they want a committed relationship, friends with benefits deals, and staying in relationships with people who don't meet their dating standards at all. The good news is that these tendencies can be overcome by not lowering your self-worth, not compromising on personal values, or sacrificing your standards. Once you reach the point of settling until you literally cannot anymore, you'll be genuinely ready to move forward on your dating journey. Step number 2, ditch your limiting beliefs. So many women harbor disempowering limiting beliefs around dating and relationships, like, I'll never find anyone, there aren't any good men out there, the dating pool is slim, etc. And they spread these limiting beliefs through social circles, friend groups, social media, blogs, videos, podcasts, and more. You must realize that these beliefs are not true, even though people of all ages and lifestyles still operate as if they are. Embracing limiting beliefs as the truth leads you to settle in dating, stay unhappily single, and remain in toxic relationships. I really don't like cliches because they're overstated to the point that no one really takes them to heart anymore, but your reality, specifically your dating reality, really is what you think it is. And if you decide to believe that true love exists for you and that you will experience it, then the path to achieving your relationship goals just got that much easier because you've overcome the biggest hurdle, which is your mindset. If you are experiencing limiting beliefs around dating, learn to disassociate from your thoughts and realize that everything you think and believe is not necessarily a true statement. Remember that you don't have to give negative thoughts around dating the power to shift your mood and influence your actions. To stop these limiting beliefs in their tracks, think about the recurring negative thoughts and limiting beliefs you hold around dating and relationships. Investigate their origin. Ask yourself where they came from, why you still have them, and why you give them so much power in your life today. You may have picked up limiting beliefs from past disappointing dating experiences. Someone or a group may have instilled them into your mind, or you may have acquired them from consuming content in the media. For instance, if you have the limiting belief that all good men are taken or that you're not special enough to find a truly fulfilling relationship, these may have come from consistently dating people who didn't treat you well or from past traumas not associated with dating that have impacted your self-worth and self-perception. If you were often unhappily excluded from certain social groups as a child, or if someone said or made you feel like you're inferior to other people, the trauma from these experiences, even if you've never dwelled on them, can seep over into your dating life and result in you consistently choosing partners who aren't a good fit for you because you don't think you can get better or deserve better. And just as a spoiler alert, if no one told you, you do deserve and you can have better dating and relationship experiences. Once you've identified your limiting beliefs, their origin, and why you give them so much power, it's time to replace them. It's okay if you're not entirely sure where a limiting belief came from. Sometimes they were instilled in us a long time ago and imprinted into our subconscious mind, so we don't remember them in our current state. A common way to replace limiting beliefs is with positive affirmations. They can feel a bit cheesy at first, and you probably won't automatically resonate with a new positive belief, especially if the limiting beliefs you already have are backed up by trauma, experience, and frequent repetition in your mind. You may need to find external evidence in the real world to back up new positive beliefs and affirmations that you want to reinforce. One of the best ways to do this is to surround yourself with people that embrace the new positive mindset you want to adapt by adjusting your consumption. Every day, we consume so much information through podcasts, YouTube videos, social media, news, articles, emails, overhearing conversations, our social circle, family, and more. If you have limiting beliefs around dating and relationships, consuming content like dating app horror stories on TikTok, worst date ever recounts on YouTube, Instagram posts telling you to focus on yourself, or surrounding yourself with friends who are always complaining about how hard dating is, then all of these sources are sabotaging your dating success. Content like this can impact your psyche and your perception of the intersection between dating and relationships and yourself. It is so important to ditch these toxic, pessimistic sources and find podcasts like this one, friendship circles, and content creators that help you feel reaffirmed on your dating journey and encourage positive thinking about relationships. Through being in uplifting and affirmative spaces, you can reframe your mindset to foster confidence in your abilities and burst through limiting beliefs. It's time to take your power back and realize you are stronger than your disempowering thoughts. Step 3, date with the endgame in mind. What is your ultimate purpose for dating? If you're listening to the show, then your ultimate goal is probably marriage or a long-term commitment. But other people's reasons for dating may include seeking a casual fling, short-term partnership, a chance to meet new people, and some people might not even have a reason for dating at all. Regardless, dating with intention is like planning for retirement. It requires being proactive, has a very big impact on your life, and it's critical to start thinking about it in advance. When you date people with the end game in mind, you have a vision for what you want your dating reality to look like, and you are less likely to settle for partners who cannot or are not willing to offer you that. You are able to select and be attracted to partners who also want to be in a real partnership. For instance, when you're driven by a vision of being in a happy, long-term romantic relationship, options like situationships, casual relationships, and dating people who you know you won't be with in a year from now all lose their appeal. You go from viewing settler dating as something you do to progress away from being fully single to understanding that settler dating is prolonged singlehood, because if something isn't heading towards marriage, then it's heading towards a breakup. Knowing this should give you the strength to move in the right direction even when temptation arises. Step 4, know what your date wants. When you're seeking a long-term committed partnership, it is so important to also date people who are looking for a serious long-term relationship. People who are looking for something short-term, casual, or don't have a clear interest in maintaining a serious connection are not great options when seeking long-term partnership. If someone isn't ready for a relationship right now, you do not have to wait until they are, because you don't need to put your own dating and relationship goals on hold to suit someone else. And if someone tells you that they don't want a relationship, believe them and don't wait for them to change their mind. You might meet someone online or in person who doesn't have a clearly defined dating goal at the moment, but they'd want to be in a relationship if they found the right person. It might be a bit too forward or off-putting to straight up ask someone about their dating goals on a first date. A first date is just a chance to get to know another human being and see if you're romantically compatible with them. And it's not a waste of time if you later find out that you guys don't share the same dating and relationship goals after all. What you could do, however, is ask your date what their ideal life looks like or what kind of life they hope they're living in the next X amount of years. If they never mention seeing themselves in a relationship or marriage in the next 5 or 10 or so years in the future, then they may not be looking for something serious. A very important part of knowing what your date wants is being prepared to take action based on this information. If you want a long-term relationship and your date doesn't, be prepared to walk away from the situation, even if you really like the person a lot. I remember watching a previous season of The Bachelorette, which is a dating show where one woman meets about 25 men, dates them over the course of a few weeks, and ultimately chooses one to be her fiancé. Rachel Lindsay was the Bachelorette one year, and when she was down to her final 2 men, one of them implied that he wanted a very long-term engagement that would not necessarily culminate in a marriage. And even though Rachel was in love with him, the fact that their dating goals were vastly different, Rachel wanted a marriage, was a critical factor in her decision to not get engaged to this man. It's not talked about often enough, but aside from your feelings towards someone, what their relationship goals are and whether they align with yours is an extremely important consideration in deciding if you're going to continue seeing someone. I know walking away from something you've built and someone who's important to you is a challenge, but think of yourself as walking away from a path that doesn't lead to the wedding and relationship of your dreams and walking towards someone and something that fits the relationship vision you have for your life. The final part of knowing what your date wants involves looking at your date's actions. If someone says that they want a relationship with you, but they're still on dating apps, they're not regularly communicating with you, or haven't asked you to be in an official exclusive relationship after you all have clearly formed an emotional bond, then these could all be signs that someone isn't truly interested in a long-term committed relationship. And it's okay if a person you like doesn't want a relationship because people can have so many different dating goals and intentions in the modern era. But it is super crucial that you're putting your energy towards someone who does want to build something real with you in particular. Step 5, consider your future lifestyle. Identify your desired lifestyle and find a partner who shares the same lifestyle desire as you and is willing and able to build it with you. There are so many women who are in a romantic partnership that they have spent years building, only to realize that they want kids and their partner doesn't, or that they want to live on a farm and their partner never intends to move out of the city. It's not necessarily about life planning because the world can change without notice, as we all saw with COVID, and you or your partner could also drastically change your mind about what you want at any point in the relationship. But there are probably elements you know you want in your life, like living the American dream with a big house in the suburbs, or traveling to dozens of countries each year as a digital nomad, or working a demanding career that means you'll be spending a lot of time away from family. It's important to find someone who either has the same goals as you or complementary goals, like finding a partner who wants to be a stay-at-home parent if you plan to extensively travel a lot for work. The second part of considering future lifestyle goals is ensuring that your partner has the means and ability to build the lifestyle you envision for yourselves. If you know you want to buy a house in the suburbs at some point or travel to 3 new countries every year, ask yourself if your partner's financial trajectory, career goals, and ambitions offer them the ability to buy a house at some point. Your partner may not be in the best financial place right now if, let's say, they're working on their PhD or they're in graduate school, but are they on the path to being able to grow with you into the financial stability you desire? And if not, would you be willing and able to cover the cost of living your dream lifestyle yourself? If you're ever in doubt on whether you and your partner have the same lifestyle goals, definitely have a conversation with them about it. Maybe, for instance, they want to live in a few different countries, but you plan to only live in the US, then this would definitely be an example of a lifestyle clash worth discussing. Keep in mind that it is okay for you or your partner to change your mind, and current plans may not necessarily come to fruition, but it's still worth chatting with your partner about some aspects of their future life that are important to them. Step number 6, implement the 6-month rule. The 6-month rule states that the maximum amount of time you'll spend talking to or going out on dates with someone without making the relationship official is 6 months. This rule works incredibly to help you avoid situationships and non-committal arrangements like an absolute boss. There are so many women out there who are settling for situationships or casually dating someone with no exclusive labels, and while there's nothing wrong with either of these options inherently, the problem is that most women in these situationships have the dating goal of being in a long-term committed relationship. Casual, non-committal relationships are major roadblocks that can make building a long-term happy relationship a harder and longer process than it needs to be. Just to clarify definitions, a situationship is when two individuals are romantically involved without explicitly defining the relationship as being a relationship or explicitly establishing titles of boyfriend and girlfriend. Situationships usually involve a lot of ambiguity around the "what are we" question, as in, are we boyfriend, girlfriend, friends with benefits, just two people going out on dates, or are we just friends or people who know each other? Usually, situationships involve a guy who wants something undefined, as in, he doesn't want an official relationship with the girl he's in the situationship with, and a girl who wants a relationship with the guy she's in the situationship with, and is hoping that the guy will ask to make things official. This is the textbook dynamic of situationships. We are literally living in the height of situationships with way too many women who deep down desire long-term committed partnerships, investing their time, energy, and effort into building a connection that may seem like it is leading to a real relationship, but in actuality, it is not. A while ago, I walked past a guy talking on the phone, and he was saying that he likes being with someone, but not having the burden of calling that connection a relationship. This guy is an example of someone who is a great candidate for a situationship. It's okay to be in a situationship if that's what you want, but the problem is that many women don't want that. Entertaining situationships that don't actually lead anywhere is the dynamic we want to avoid. Someone who truly wants to be with you will clearly let you know through words or actions and ask to make things official. They will not string you along or think that you'll just be available to them whenever. Ideally, how things should go is first you meet someone, you guys talk, get to know each other, go out on some dates, and then once it's clear you both are very interested in each other, if your prospective partner takes your connection seriously, they will ask you to be their partner in a relationship. When you meet a new person who could be your prospective romantic partner, keep track in your mind roughly the day you really started talking to this person, and after an absolute maximum of 6 months of getting to know each other, if you want to be in an official relationship with this person and they have not asked to make things official, then it is time to let them go and move on so that you don't get stuck in situationship territory. Many women remain in situationships unhappily until the guy that they're in the situationship with eventually ends things. But your dating experiences do not have to end in disappointment or diminishing your own desires to meet someone else where they're at. The 6-month rule helps you accomplish this, and it is such a powerful technique for becoming an intentional and empowered dater. Don't tell the person you're seeing about the 6-month rule, because then they may think you're giving them an ultimatum, or they may ask you to be in a relationship because they don't want to lose you instead of because they genuinely want to be with you. The 6-month rule helps you observe someone's actions and assess their level of commitment, and then at the end of 6 months, you can ask them the what are we question, ask them if they want to make things official if they haven't asked you yet, and be prepared to walk away if there isn't mutual enthusiasm for a committed relationship together. In terms of how to end things with someone after 6 months of talking or going out on dates with them, you can send them a text or have a conversation where you thank them for the time you've spent together, say that you've enjoyed getting to know them, but you guys have different dating goals and you think it's best for both of you to end the connection and wish them all the best. This is not a breakup text or a message sent out of anger that someone doesn't want an official relationship with you, but rather a gift to yourself and to the person you're seeing. The gift is a gift of freedom to find someone whose dating and relationship goals align with yours so that you can both be happier in the end. As always, towards the end of every episode, I leave you with a big pink question, which is a powerful reflection prompt to help you practically apply sentiments from today's episode directly into your dating and relationship life in a transformative way. This week's question is, which step did you find the most enlightening, and how could it help you transform your dating and relationship journey for the better? Wishing you so much love and positivity, and I'll see you same time next week.